Here is another one of our drain and water supply modification videos. I do have a playlist. I will have a link to that playlist in the video description box. And I would also like to point out that some of these modifications might need to be verified in your area, because I did have a plumber complain from another state that suggested that you would need to have a larger vent pipe. And I do have another video on that in this particular series. So feel free to check that out. In this video here, I'm going to put the bathroom on the other side of the wall. So let's go ahead and remove our walls along with the concrete slab so that we can take a look at the plumbing. So your plumbing setup might not be this way. And of course, that is the reason why I'm going to be making a variety of different videos along with a variety of different designs. If you have something that you can't get information on, feel free to email me a picture of your plumbing, and I will see if I can help you with the modifications you're planning on making. And for the most part, all we're going to need to do will be to flip this plumbing over, to reposition all of the drain fittings on the other side. So we can rotate this 180 degrees. We can take and move this over to here and then move this over to here. And I will provide you with an example of what that will look like towards the end of the video. However, the one thing you might not choose to do will be something like this, even though I'm not 100% sure you're not allowed to do this. So if you're a plumber out there and you have the building code reference numbers, feel free to share them with us in the comment area. However, you would be able to do this, and that would be to cut the pipe anywhere along here, and then we're going to use a coupling to reattach the plumbing pipe in the right position. So if you remember, this pipe right here was pointing over to here at an angle. We're simply going to rotate it to where it's pointing over here. And of course, it will be handy if you have a little bit of slope here. You do not want this pipe sloping towards the sink. You want it to be sloping away from the sink. And the same will hold true for all of your other plumbing drain pipe modifications. So something like this should be self-explanatory, or you should get a pretty good idea of what I'm talking about, because all we're doing is taking the plumbing drain pipes apart and reinstalling them in almost exactly the same way that they were installed before, except for the fact that they are now going to be located on this side instead of this side of the wall. And of course, this might be the easiest way. However, you're probably going to need to cut out and then reposition the plumbing pipes. So here we have cut the vent pipes, and I cannot tell you exactly where you need to cut your vent pipes or your drain pipes. And I won't be providing you with step-by-step assembly methods. However, if I do have enough viewers who need more help in that area, I will definitely put something together. And hopefully this looks familiar, because I've just simply rebuilt the entire system. I have the cleanouts on the opposite side. If you remember, the cleanouts before went into the closet or into this side of the wall. And of course, the bathtub, toilet, and sink were on this side of the wall. And you can see here where I cut the drain pipes, where I cut the vent pipes, and simply added a coupling. And if you have a difficult time assembling something like this, then you might consider using a glued fitting at one end and then a rubber fitting with clamps at the other end, if that will be easier for you to assemble this section here, or even assemble the lower section to the existing vent pipes. And again, I can always make another video on that if you need it. So in this situation here, we're going to be buying new fittings and rebuilding the entire drain assembly for the bathroom. And like I said, these were never meant to be step-by-step instructions, just kind of enough to get you started in the right direction. And if you were dealing with a crawl space here, then obviously you would not need to remove the concrete slab. Next up on the list, I want to provide you with another method. You can see here where the toilet drains into our wet vent. However, you could always have the toilet drain into the drain line and then use this as a vent here. And this is actually an option that another plumber commented on and suggested that if they were going to make a change, this would be it. And what this basically does is allows more drop here, or a little longer area, which will allow the water from the toilet to drop a little faster, allowing it to flush easier. However, I've never had a problem with either method. The only time I ever had a problem was when I came right off of the toilet flange with a 90-degree turn. And that was on a 3-inch pipe. And of course, the water didn't flow out of the toilet as fast as I would have liked it to. And that was in a house that I actually lived in. So I got firsthand experience with that particular problem. So let's go ahead and wrap this video up here. We're going to install our wall and our water supply pipes. And the water supply pipes usually won't be that difficult because all you're doing is turning them around. And when you do that, they are going to be located on the wrong side. This right here would be the hot water if it was installed on the left side, on the other side, or in the existing bathroom. And in your new bathroom, if you leave it like this, you're going to have the water supplies reversed. Now, this isn't going to be a problem for the sink. You're going to be able to fix this with your supply lines. These would be the flexible supply lines by simply hooking the supply line on the right to the faucet on the left connection and the faucet connection on the right to the supply line on the left to get everything to work out, instead of doing the extra work to where you're going to switch the pipes and have them on the correct sides. And I say that, however, this might be a problem if you're getting an inspection. And if you remember, the toilet that was on this side had a water supply line over here. We're going to need to extend this one and bring it over here. Or you can leave it over here and get a longer supply line connector. However, this will not be the case for the shower valve. You're going to need to fix it to where the hot water is on the correct side, usually the left side, and the cold water is on the right side. So this will need to be modified. Otherwise, you're going to confuse some of the people who use the shower and don't know that the cold water and the hot water are reversed. And how do I know that? That's because that's also another problem I had happen to me. And hopefully some of this makes sense. If it does, don't forget to hit the thumbs up button or leave a constructive comment in the comment area letting us know how awesome these videos are and you want to see more of them.